Thank you. Thank you for the great introduction, Caitlin. As she said, my name is Andy Downs. I'm the Content and Sustainability Manager with Only Natural Pet. Before I get started, I do want to note that public speaking consistently ranks higher than death on lists of people's greatest fears. So that should give you some insight into how passionate I am about this topic. As you can see, this is about Only Natural Pet striving towards B Corp certification. These are my two lovely dogs, Goose and Lulu. We are not currently a certified B Corp. We're in the process of doing that, but sometimes I feel like people that are in the process can give a unique perspective compared to those that have already gone through it.
Sorry. It actually worked.
Oh, great. Okay. There we go. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a real sucker for quotes, and this one is one of my favorites. Facts are stubborn things, and whatever may be our wishes, our inclinations, or the dictates of our passions, they cannot alter the state of facts and evidence. And that's by John Adams, the second president of the United States. This quote, I feel, really exemplifies the reason for why Only Natural Pet is pursuing B Corp certification, and that's a topic that I'm going to get into here today. First, what is B Corp certification? So B Corp certification is a rigorous third-party certification that covers sustainability across 5 broad categories: governance, workers, community, environment, and customers. Certified B Corps are companies that have scored 80 points or higher on the BIA, which is the B Impact Assessment, and that's a 211 question survey that covers every facet of your company. Why certify? This really, for us, the main reason comes back to that John Adams quote. Only Natural Pet has always been a passionate company. We've always been passionate about pets and sustainability. But as John Adams points out, passion can only get you so far. You really need to back that up with facts and evidence, and that's what the B Corp process has allowed us to do. Another great reason is it lets you know how you stack up. You know, the competitive side in us always wants to know how we're doing with our sustainability, and they offer a really great amount of analytics that let you see not only how you compare to other B Corps, but how you compare to companies as a whole. And finally, an interesting thing that's come out of starting the process is we've really begun to reframe our ideas and vocabulary on how we talk about sustainability. So before we would talk about greenhouse gas emissions. Now we need to talk about what scope greenhouse gas emissions they are. Before we would talk about worker training. Now we need to discuss, is it personal training, life skills training, professional development, things like that. Where to start? Another quote from the great tennis player Arthur Ashe: start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. When we initially started, it was just Marty, our president, and me in a room. We took about 2 hours, and we went through the entire BIA. This was a really great way to start because we got to see not only where we were already with sustainability, but how that sustainability fit into the B Corp process. From that initial pass, I can't tell you what our score was, but I can tell you that we had some quick wins and we had some early surprises. A quick win for us, our power food is carbon neutral, and we had already done an extensive life cycle assessment of that product, and we were able to just kind of grab those points from the impact assessment. Some early surprises, we realized that we didn't have a published mission statement or a published employee handbook. So that was really where our sustainability efforts were focused, so we could kind of continue to grow the broad aspect. And I'm happy to announce this is the cover of our new employee handbook here. Who's on your team? Like I said, it started with me and Marty initially. This is us receiving our Best for Colorado honorable mention for our environmental purchasing policy. From the two of us, we grew it to include 4 departmental heads, and this really let us cover every corner of the company. So not only were those people overseeing sustainability in their departments, but they were also in touch with company culture, which is a huge part of this project. Throughout the entire process, I've acted as an internal point person. So whether colleagues have questions about why we're performing some sort of sustainable task, or if we need to reach out to B Lab, that all kind of comes through me so we can stay organized. And you will have questions for B Lab, so it's really great to just have one person contacting. And finally, I can't stress how important outside partners are. Pet Sustainability Coalition has just been amazing in this process, whether it's keeping us on track or making sure that we're putting out an employee survey or properly writing our vendor code of conduct. They've just been there for every turn. We also, in Boulder County, where we're located, use EcoCycle's Green Star Business Program, and we also have a county system called PACE, Partners for a Clean Environment. How we're doing it. I'll be the first to admit that I think the biggest challenge with this is engagement and buy-in. When you have two people in a room thinking of sustainability, they can have the best ideas in the world, but until the rest of the company culture takes them on, they're still just ideas. So for engagement and buy-in, we did our employee survey. At the top here, you can see this word cloud. This was, where can you see Only Natural Pet improving sustainability? And it's really obvious that our workforce is thinking about this. They're saying things like supply chain, products, waste, employees. We have a really smart team at Only Natural Pet. Our job now is to utilize that team and find out how to use them to help us obtain our sustainability goals. The second word cloud down here is what would help you become more engaged with Only Natural Pet's sustainability efforts. And I don't think I have to point out what the biggest word is there, but that was actually really insightful because B Corp is using business as a force for good. It's not, let's do this out of the goodness of our heart, even though that's a nice byproduct. It's business for a force for good. So as a result of this, now every Only Natural Pet team member has a sustainability goal at their annual review. So where it was initially just 2 people thinking of sustainability for the company, we now have nearly 70 people working to achieve our sustainability goals. And coming full circle here, I do want to revisit the why question because this is where I found one of the most interesting evolutions in the process. When we first started, we would often talk about how many points is this going to get us? How close are we to 80 points? And just recently we've started to talk about, is this right for Only Natural Pet? Is this the right thing for us to do? And before we were following B Corp's path to sustainability. And now I feel like we're making our own path. So, you know, at the end of the day, if we don't get 80 points, and, you know, please let us get 80 points and become a certified company, I think that the mission is already accomplished because we've gone beyond the B Corp certification and we've implemented sustainability policies that to me are far more tangible than a physical certification ever could be. So I do want to thank everyone for their time. This is a lot to fit into a short amount of time. So if you're currently pursuing certification or interested in it, please come and find me to talk. Thank you very much.